Hi, back again. Today we make such that I hate the most. That is the word count. That is good when you model high poly and it looks good, but if you want to make much houses or much of for a game or so, then you need a low word count. So we make it on this house that I show you what is the problem there. You have built it at 2, we have made a tutorial about that, and you see this house has 30,000 words. That is here. And when you have a game, one frame, the picture you see in one frame, all in all can work with 20,000, only 20,000, with the trees, with the butter, with the the guns, the people, the characters, the deers, all 20,000 only. So a house can't have 30,000. That doesn't work. So because of that is baking. Baking is all that we have has a UV. You have here the UV image editor, and all we have has here a UV. You see it. That is the UV from that window. That here is the UV from that. It's a bad UV. The normal way for such was a normal unwrap. So U and unwrap. Then you see all placed on one picture. That is important for the baking. You can only bake what is in this picture. You build it here with new button. There you can say the resolution of this picture. There you can say it should be an HD format like 1280 and 720 or 1080, or you make a 4K or 2K, and that is important for how that looks later. How good is that? And you see each of these stones here has only that little thing here on that resolution, so that it will be look bad. So if you bake some, and you need to bake some, if you want to make an animation on a game or such, you have to look at the words and you have to look for this baking. And yeah, so we will now try to make this same house with a word count of 10,000 maximum. And that will be a horrible thing. I think I had never done such before. I made it with other methods, but not with this method. So we will see what we get there. So the thing is, in principle, that house is a simple cube with another cube on it, and that was it. And that's it. The rest is texture, and we can make photos from this texture and plug them on from front. Then we don't need these words here, because it's only picture. So we try some. We move that all here away, delete that maybe. So, and we want to have the texture for the house. That is the house. I select all. That is the house. That is the base structure there. that has his own problems with too many words. So first you must clear that we have a base rough structure, and there you can put on the textures later. That here all should be a texture later, not objects, not meshes. They have words. This one here has only 196, but that is too much for that simple mesh there. So we must find the arrows. You see here some unneeded things that you can delete. In this case, we can set wireframe, and you see here are some arrows. So we can go here. That is the edge we don't need. So we go in there and X dissolve edge. Then it is gone. Same you make with that. Dissolve edge. The same you make with that. And so on. You clear first the mesh with dissolving, and then you must look what is crashed by that. Most of the day there crash some then, and some parts are lost and all this stuff. So you look at you completely mesh. Where is some mystery here? That is mystery. That is mystery. That. So you clear that first. It's only they are not at the same height, and so, but it's not important. It's they are wrong, so you have to clean. So think that one can be. There is two problems, and dissolve edges is better than delete edges, because when you delete edges, the whole topography crashes, and then I have much fun with that. So that here, this comes every time from the boolean. When you work with a boolean, he makes that to get there, a connection where is no connection, and that's the problem. So good thing for the start that can work, and we have now 182, but it's too much. I say to you like it is too much. Normally you only have to see here the windows, nothing else at all. So I try some. I get that here, and scale set 0. So we have here top line that isn't needed really. You see that nothing happens with the windows, so we can completely dissolve edges. That was many words, but it's unneeded, and so you can handle that with the most of them. Here, this line, what should it be? Nothing. You can take them away. So X dissolve edges. So you have less and less and less words. Yeah, we want to try it at this, so we make it. So what is the next? What is too much? Let's look. That is for the door, the top, and there's the down for the windows. Here we have that one. That can first be scale set 0 to have a clean topology there. That is important. Then we can dissolve that. We don't need that. Dissolve edges. Then this one we need not. So we can dissolve them. Wow, we've done a little bit too much dissolve. So we dissolve them first. Okay. When I dissolve them, the window go. So that we can't dissolve. But that isn't needed, that isn't needed. Oh, there's a window. Okay, then it is needed. So you must look what is needed, what is not needed. That is not needed. This one here can be a line. So we try to bring it on one high that we can handle it better, see it better, control it better, scale set 0. So that is then easier to see. That here is absolutely unneeded. That too. And when you then look in the vert, then you can sometimes see that are lost words here, like that here. That is one word, and there's one word. Why we don't bring them together? There are two words, and we only need one. There is a sample for merging. So we get both this one and this one with shift, right click. And then we say here tools, merge at last. So it comes to the last clicked one. Same we have here. So we go here and merge at last. So that was 4 words. Now we have 2 words. And so we must optimize that. That is really the base structure. Nothing more, nothing less. You see it here, that isn't needed. That isn't needed too, because here is no window, here's nothing. So you can take that both and dissolve edges. That you need because there is a window. There you must look. You can't, or we tried. We cut it here on this stage, and we cut it on this stage too. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it crashes. But most of the time that works. When we then that. Yeah. So we clean up. It was an irritation for me that last time that I tried that crashed then when I tried such, because he wants to get straight lines completely through the mesh, but it goes now. So I make it so it's normally that it should be that we kill all. Yeah, and there you see then the windows disappear. That is what I mean before. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't do it because it crashes then. Yeah, here that is okay. That isn't okay when you delete it. That must be a reason. Can look that there are no other words down under. Why it disappears? That is the question. But before we try another, take that and that, X, dissolve edges. There we have no problem. The window stands there, all is okay, so I know it. Yeah, there we have the same problem. When we delete that, it's really gone. I don't know exactly why, but who cares, yeah? When we delete that here, no problem. That is not, I don't understand it really why. Why sometimes that has no problem and sometimes it have. There, Windows gone. other ones you can do that, nothing happens. Good, but we have less words as before. Here some mystery. Good, and here on the door is something going on. There we try on delete. Then we see it's gone, but we have here one word that isn't needed because we can plug it there. So mark both and merge add last. Same as here. Move to see that it's only one and nothing behind. And then the same merge add last. So here they are unneeded. Here two words. You see it there and there. And to delete such, when you delete it, this is gone. But when you dissolve it, the line isn't gone. So X dissolve words, and the line stands. When I delete that, then it is gone, the line. That is the difference between deleting and dissolving. So we dissolve that only. And the same we can do here, here, X, and dissolve words. So how that looks all in all. Better than before, that is clear. But some of these maxims are unneeded. That is important too. Because when you unwrap that, all what is marked red will be unwrapped as as a 2D. And when you have unneeded cuts, you wonder why that looks so. Yeah, that is the problem. So we don't need mark seam that here, only the windows. So we make here clear seam under shading UV, clear seam. Now we have only here the window, that is okay, the top line, down line, that is okay. Nothing more. So that is too much. That, and that. Clear seam. So here the same. That is too much. That is too much. That, and that. Clear seam. So then that here, that, and that. Clear seam. And here this both. So I see from the mark seams that must be a clear unwrap when we do that. So file, save as, and I call it word reduct, reduction 1. Good. So before we had 285 words, and now we have 95. That is much better. And you see that was the before unwrap was chaos. And when we now apply first the object scale and then you unwrap new, that are clear faces, but you see there is something wrong with that. That isn't that clear as it should. So we must check all words. So with A we take all first. Then we go to shading recalculate, so the normals look all to the out parts of it. Then we check is there some doubles in or something else. That means we have here remove doubles on the tools. So then you see removed 0. So that is okay. Then we go here and have clean up under meshes. Clean up, delete losers. because if there are one, you have a problem. There was one edge was there, and that can make this all look awful. So we try to object apply the rotation scale again, and you unwrap again, and we see it also looks bad, the unwrap here. That isn't that what we want. Normally we must have there these windows each there, and then that looks good. So why we have that? That is the question here. Normally I go there and make a photo from the front, from the sides, and plug it onto them. Then all is done, and that is enough. So I will try that now too. That means we have here the second chance to get an unwrap from view as sample. So that means now you see after changing that changed a lot because the topology changed, so the unwrap changed too. So we have to redo all. Normally you should do that before to see the word count that doesn't go over such values there. 30,000, that is too much. But that isn't the problem of that one. The problem is this all, and that we want to make, not let it as a mesh, we want to make it as a texture. So I will delete this face too. Normally when you have transparent windows, you should have a bottom, because when not, you can look through the bottom. That is bad. But in this case, dissolve. So that is the real base measure of that, and you can set the geometry to the object. File, save as, reduction 2. So the next one is we must give them here a clean, good look, and then we make there a photo from it. So we take a second one, Shift D, go top view, edit mode, with background selection, word selection, and then border selection, and delete all what is on the back. So we have only front left. We jump to that, and now we need to make it as we would it should look later. That is the real that we have to build. So the wall house, we have here the nodes and the middle material. So this house wall looks awful. So we take here all, and you see that is the unwrap, and that isn't a good unwrap. That is completely destroyed. So view and unwrap from view. That is a clean, absolutely clean UV, and with them we can work. So we can plug it there, and we have that resolution that we built it as we did the new one. Good. You see what happens? That is what we see there, and it should be this stone, but this stone is much too titled. So we have to do here in the scaling, go back to 1 at first. 1 is the basic for each texture. So, and you see that is too much. So we now, when we scale it here, you can do that, but then you can't bake it on this picture, on this UV, on this, it is a picture all in all, and you can't bake it there when it is greater than that size. When you scale it here, that you can't bake, that you can bake. So we have to scale here. That means we try here some values, 0.2, 0.2, and here 0.2, and you see that looks better. That can be the house wall, I think. It looks a little bit awful because we have here displacement on, and it's strong, but in real that looks so. That is a little bit strong. So we go here down to 0.003. That is less effect, but it has an effect. And that's it. Good. The second material is here the house middle material. So we look at them, and we see that it's titled there too much. It is another stone material, and it is too bright. So that means it only should be a small part of that is in this color. We don't want that anymore, so we delete the material complete, but in object mode. And now we have a clean, absolutely clean part that we can render. Okay. So we look how that looks in the live render. That throws no error, no shadows. There is no lighting seen real, only here at the points there. But it is okay. When that so is, then you must change the sun, and so that is important because you make only a picture from them. When it is in another scene, there is another light, so you have to be careful with that. So we take the camera and want to make a render from that, so that we can use it as a texture. So we have to go to the cam and press N here to get this panel there, and there you see the rotation of the cam that we all make to 0 first. And you see that is the absolutely 0. We have to turn it to the x-axis that it looks completely through it. So we give them here 90 degrees. Now we are absolutely straight look from the front because we have orthographic view. When you press 1 on the numpad, you have front and orthographic, and that is absolutely in the middle. Then you can say here which resolution you would. In my case, 1024. You should ever use the resolutions that you learned. There is 512, 1024, then comes HD with 1920 to 1080, then comes 2K, 4K, 8K, and so on. Good. But so I must think about what we done yet. So that is the base structure for that. Now we need the other things on it to bake them with. Yeah. That means all that is in the front of the house, and that are here instances. You see that on this axis there. That are instances, no real objects. But we must render them with to get them on the picture. So we take that whole thing, Shift D, and place them on our interior there, on our house there. And you see it doesn't fit completely, so we have to readjust that. That is too much, we don't need it. So that has changed all, we see that. because we have done a lot on it. So we can readjust that a little, or we can make it here on the house parts, but then we must unwrap new. So when we go here a little bit down, you see it stretches. And when we then go here and plug them on, you see it scratch. That means you have to unwrap new then. So we take it, U, and from view. Now that is all clear now. So we see we have all that, but you must think about that when you have a house that is only a plane. That looks very mystery. So you won't have the deep parts for the window is in, the door is in, and such more. And that means we don't need the windows itself. We only need the things around the windows. The windows itself should be a graphic later, so we render them separate. That means when we take here our window, that is an instance. That is bad because we only need here the inner parts. So that means we have to find the window. So we go on the other layers and we find them here, as well as on the third layer. We only want to have that round, but not that middle part there. So we can mark that with L and X, delete words. X, delete words. So that now should look here others. Yeah, and you see the windows are gone, but here isn't closed. So we have to go in our house mesh and readjust it. And then again from view and unwrap. So that looks better. We have to do the same with the door middle part there. So all what is windows should be gone. Wow, but you must be careful, yeah. You get too much killed. That is bad too. But yeah, only be careful. So we have that, and then we see we have here other things to delete. That is all what you don't see when you work at that. And we have this whole problems with this work now because we modeled fast at the start and don't care about such things. But in it comes a time where you need to make it correctly. And that is now. And that takes time and nerves. And you don't like it. But that's the way. For simply render, that was all okay for before. But the word count is important when you make animations, games. Then you can't have that much words as before. Then that struggles. The PC stops and goes, stop and go. That is not good. That must float all. The strange of the computer is not endless, unendless. That is endless. Yeah. So we have that too, but we see that we don't must render because that is bad. So we have to readjust that. So we can take here a house wall again and bring them much more there. Then we must look. Wow, that here looks bad. So make it from view, and it looks better, but we have to scale it, I think. That looks better. That here is because the 3D effect, the displacement is too strong. So we have to look at them later. But before we have to delete here the windows too. Okay. Same as here. And you only can work with clear unwraps. If there is something crazy that can't be good, then all is done. You can delete it, make it new. So that should be it. You see, there are all problems. So you can now make that all correctly, yeah? Or you say, okay, I can live with that. So wall house, I see that is too wide. For me that is too wide, that is bad. So I try it without the color mixer. So we have that. That looks much better, sharper. I like that, so I'll add that. It's only a little bit creep. Yeah, the mixer mixed. We try some color. Take a mixer again. Or a curve. Oh, we try some color and RGB curves one. There we can say in which direction should the color change. You see what happens. There you can maybe get a better result than before. You only must try. Should be a light gray. Yeah, such like that. When we get yellow, more to white. Yeah, that is good. So we have it. Good, but here this effect isn't good, so we must look which material is it. That here, that's too high, 202. Yeah, that is much, too much. 1 isn't good too. Normally 003, but you don't see it then really. That is more, you know that it's there, but you don't see it, and sometimes that isn't good. But I try that now. And see, it is very sharper. And here I don't like that too, so I get it away, or I take a multiplier. Yeah, multiplier makes it not as bad as before, or you can take here again the curve. So white color, I don't know, we need them? No. So we delete them. Glass we don't need, we can delete. Stone, what is it? Okay, so we take a 0.003. So that is too green. Really. So So that is too green. So we have to do here other. We have to lighten up that. So we need here high white and get here playing with the factor. But I doesn't see anything good, so we delete that and bring here the original color in and take then this color curve between, and then we try it again. Yeah, has a little bit other. That isn't that easy to control that correctly. You must try that often to get a halfway good result. I think I must take green and bring them more to a white one. That is green. That is red. Yeah, I think the PC lags too, because I don't see it in live speed. That is bad for such, because there you need it, really. But that is okay, I think. Good. That is from view autographic. So we can render this front and later plug it on only a box. And you mean, oh, all is there. But there's nothing. There's only the cube. So, but before we do that, we have to make it here a little bit better. So box selection, I make it here closed, and there closed, and so on. Make it a little bit finer, yeah. Not as rough as we did before, because we now in another phase of the object, of the project. What happens there? Why that don't come with such a shit sometimes? Yeah, and that's 3D. You see all when you make any error. You will see that, and then the whole project looks like a noob. And that is the problem by that. Ah, that's an instance again, okay. So we can't make it here, we make it on the original, on the source. So, but I think that can be the front. The windows we must render in an other by ourselves. Yeah. That we need also. So we bring that to there also. There are thousands of words I now bring there, and we don't need them really. That's only a look of, but when you look from front, you will never see that this is texture and no meshes. This is enough. So we go with numpy 0 in the view, and we see it's camera perspectivic. That is bad for that. So we have to click on the camera, and we see the camera and should be autographic. So then we can say the scale. When you then move on, you come through our house, grab it, position it. This is to learn. There too. And that is the graphic that we want to render. So we can plug them later on the front of the house. But you see there are some problems here. So I don't want to make it now. Really not. Because that is much. Clear all these little errors. But you can do that. I will do that too. And in the next tutorial I show you then how to use that all on the basic stuff there. Okay. So thanks a lot. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.